Hello and welcome to readreddit by FactFinder, r/AskReddit. Today's question is: people who have surprisingly woken up admitted into a hospital. What happened? 18-year-old me got super wasted on Smirnoff watermelon vodka at some little club in Clearwater, FL. Apparently I fell off of a tall bar stool and busted my head. When I woke up, I wasn't even sure what state I was in. Accidentally called my friend's mom in North Dakota trying to get a ride to somewhere other than the hospital. A decade later and I still can't drink anything with that watermelon flavor. I'm pretty sure watermelon vodka. Clearwater, FL could have summed that up. I was 12 in 1982. Woke up in a hospital bed feeling fine. No idea what happened. Nobody else in the room. Last person I remember hanging out with was my friend, Scott. So I call his house. His mom answered. Advised me to call my parents. No answer at the home phone. So I'm sitting in this bed, trying to figure out why I'm even there. I finally discover that the rolling table over the bed opens up, and there's a mirror under the lid. Across my forehead and down the whole right side of my face are fresh abrasions. Oh, that's why. Finally get hold of Scott and learn the story, which I still don't remember. Was riding my bike down a sidewalk near the grade school. Sidewalk takes a 45-degree left turn, and I cut the corner. Grass is deep, and a little wet, and my front wheel catches on the edge of the sidewalk, flipping me over. I landed on my face, dragged against the other edge of the sidewalk, knocked out cold. Another neighborhood kid was in the area. Hustled back to alert my parents. My dad took me to the hospital in his car, and I woke up the next day. Yes, my parents just left me in the hospital by myself. Was at the pool. Next thing I know I wake up in a hospital bed, feeling very cold and my throat hurts. Turns out I had actually drowned, but the lifeguard had pulled me out and reanimated me for about 45 minutes. Then I was flown to the hospital by helicopter, where I lay in a coma for 2 days, during which they kept my body temperature low, to prevent cerebral damage caused by lack of oxygen. I could go home a week after the accident. TLDR. Drowned. Got revived. Don't remember anything. My brother and I were outside playing with squirt guns. This was 2001, so I would have been 11. Next thing I know it's Easter Sunday. I was in a hospital bed with a massive headache and blurred vision, and the last thing I remembered was 4 days ago. Apparently I fell backwards and smacked my dome on the curb hard enough to fracture my skull and bruise my brain. Got 2 weeks off of school, which was cool back then, and I've had to wear glasses ever since. Apparently, according to my mom, the first sign of consciousness in the hospital was me getting out of bed, taking a piss on the floor, and then going back to sleep for 2 more days. The whole thing was a weird experience. Edit. Wow, this got a lot of attention. A lot of people talking about being catheterized. Yeah, that makes sense. Maybe I tried to piss on the floor. I don't know. I was 11 and unconscious for 4 days. This is just the story I was told. Oh, he's getting up. What's he doing? Did he just start pissing on the floor? Yup, that's piss on the floor. What's he doing now? Back to bed? Wow. He hit his head and turned into a college freshman. Does it count if I woke up in hospital surprised with the results? I went in for a stomach operation. Woke up and said, oh, it doesn't hurt that bad. My surgeon, mother, anesthesiologist and 2 nurses all looked super awkward and said, well, we didn't do the surgery. You had an allergic reaction to one of the drugs given to you in the anesthetic process and flatlined. We spent 40 minutes stabilizing you. I was absolutely in awe. I felt fine until I started to get clammy. Then my BP went to 40/20 again and I passed out. Spent 4 days in ICU, and a week in total in hospital. I was running a half marathon with a friend and we had just passed the 10-mile mark and I felt like I was getting into a groove after I struggled a bit the previous few miles. Woke up the next day in the ICU with my family all around me. Heat stroke and rhabdomyolysis. I was admitted with a temp of 108.6 and they were telling my family to prepare for the worst. Had to stay in the hospital for a few days and then take it easy for a few months but otherwise came out unscathed. Don't recommend it. I was watching Voyager on TV. Next thing I was in a hospital bed. Turns out I'd gotten up too fast. Lack of blood flow to the head and passed out. Hitting my head on the floor hard. I'm 6'6" and fractured my skull. Confusing. Woke up in the hospital summer of 2002 cuffed to a hospital bed. Tubes all over me and stitches all over my chest. The night before I was hit by a drunk driver, had a 6-inch gash down the center of my chest exposing a few ribs. After I was discharged I spoke with the gas station attendant who told me that he denied the driver a beer sale because he was already wasted. That asshole was never found. That was pretty bad, but apparently I woke up in a daze a few hours earlier. Doctor had me sedated and arms secured to the bed because I was trying to pull my catheter out. Cut a guy off while bartending in college. He wasn't too happy. Grabbed a bottle and chucked it at the back of my head as I turned around. Woke up in a hospital bed with my best regular and his wife ensuring me I'd be okay and the guy wouldn't be a problem. Super reassuring, other than the fact this was a pretty unsavory biker bar and the regulars, though amazingly kind and loyal to me, weren't the most savory human beings. 38 stitches, a partially shaved head, and 3 days later I was at lunch with the same regulars. Woke up in the hospital, too weak to press a PCA pump, being told I'd been in a catastrophic motorcycle accident. Had suffered extensive injuries to my entire, except my left arm, spine, and head, thank the universe, body, and had been in a medically induced coma for 5 weeks. I lost any memory of the event, or the week prior to it. I was hit by some unrepentant douchebuggers who were out on parole, repeat offenders, and decided it would be a good idea to assault a 711 clerk, rob the store, and led the police in a 30-minute chase at excess speeds up to 100 plus. Their joyride ended when they went the wrong way on the freeway and took my on-ramp going 70 miles per hour against traffic and slammed into me at a net speed of 120 miles per hour. I was going 50. We know all this from the police report. I never had a chance since the on-ramp sloped up, then back down to enter the freeway, and I hit these guys at the crest of the hill. Never saw them. The impact sliced through their engine block, so they ran on foot after that. The police recorded their statements, after being followed by helicopter and being apprehended, as what you arresting me for? They got 9 and 5 years in a plea deal, and I was notified when they were each let out after serving less than half the sentence. Please note, they were 100% sober, knew they hit me, and they left me to die. I'm a generally compassionate person, or at least I try to be, but I hope their lives are a living hell and that they live a long time. I hope they never get the chance to hurt someone again, but I fully expect that that's what they've done. For my own mental health, I'll never try to find out what's become of them. This was over 10 years ago, and I have a good life now. Loving GF, a mortgage, a super smart border collie, everything I ever wanted, although it's been a serious struggle. I didn't get any money except for $50K from the Victims of Violent Crimes Fund Plus, remarkably, their auto insurance. My medical bills were plus $3M, but I was insured. Thankfully, since I'd just started the job 6 months prior, I used that money and my hospital recovery time to get my MBA, and have worked hard as hell to move up in my new, I had to change since I'm not very agile anymore, career. I'm still severely and permanently disabled. I'll never run again, nor have any real balance. Need a cane and lost the use of my dominant arm. But I'm lucky, since I still have my faculties and look relatively normal. I don't own a motorcycle anymore, and will never attempt to ride again. You need 100% of your physical faculties as well as mental to do it safely. I don't blame my motorcycle at all. I miss riding and probably wouldn't have fared much better in those speeds in a car. If you ride and are reading this, please make sure you buy the best safety gear and wear it every time. I'm only here today because I did, and no amount of skill would have saved me from being in the exact wrong place at the exact wrong time. I was wearing a Nolan flip face helmet, $300 at the time. Thank you Nolan for your outstanding quality and commitment to safety. I still have that helmet, and it's scratched and cracked all the way through. That could have been my skull. Thanks for watching. Please like and subscribe for more Reddit content.